at 4 in today's Community Focus, Attorney General Peter Neronha will not be running for governor. He joins us now to talk about that and much more. Thanks for being here.
Sure, Kim.
So you've said this was a personal decision for you about sort of how you want to spend the next decade of your life. This decision not to run for governor. Obviously, we know you care deeply about the state and who's running it. Will you be endorsing someone in the governor's race?
Well, if somebody asks me for their endorsement, I'll certainly consider it and talk to them about what their vision is for the state. But no one's asked to date, and so the candidates will make their case to the people of the state, and the people, as it works, will make their choice next November. If
you had to endorse someone today as the race stands between Helena Foulkes and incumbent Governor Dan McKee, who would you pick?
I wouldn't, because nobody's asked.
Okay, fair enough. You are term limited as Attorney General, which means you can't seek re-election in this position. What are you hoping to accomplish in the next 14 months before your term's over?
A lot of planes I want to try to land before I step away. It'll go by fast, based on past experience. So certainly want to bring Roger Williams and Fatima hospitals, that whole frittata to a closing. Get the current deal closed if possible. Get them out of a bankruptcy court in Dallas and get them locally owned and operated, and hopefully get them off to a good future. But that still remains ahead of us. So that's on my mind. Broader healthcare reform still needs to happen. Want to get our diocese report out. My review of it is finished. We're just kind of putting it, so many of us have worked on it over the years now that we want to make sure that it tells a coherent story. It looks like it was done as it should be by a unified team. We just had so many people come and go that have worked on that over the last 5-6 years. So certainly those things. The criminal division is operating very well. Hope that continues.
Do you think we'll get that diocese report before the end of the year?
Yeah, look, my hope is that, I don't think I'll put it out if it takes as long around the holidays, but certainly by the time the General Assembly comes back, I want it to be in their hands.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about is the cold case unit that you have. Regular viewers know I have a series on cold cases. This is close to my heart, but you had said basically a year and a half ago that your unit has effectively solved 2 cases. When will those families and the public know what those cases are?
Yeah, so our expectation is that the team that has worked on those cases and has the results to share with the public will do that at the office at the end of October or early November. So we're just putting the public sort of if you will, the visuals together, so to help us explain to the public what we found. But the reports are done. They'll be on our website certainly by the end of October. First week of November is my
very soon. Okay. Judge William Smith today saying in an opinion that the Trump administration is failing to comply with a court order prohibiting FEMA funds from being withheld over immigration policies. You have been challenging the Trump administration in multiple lawsuits, but where do we go from here if court orders aren't being followed?
Well, they didn't follow the original one, so we went back to court to get this one, and we'll keep going back to court until they do. And at some point, judges are going to, I suspect, find themselves in the position that they're going to have to hold the administration in contempt, have those members of the administration show up who aren't complying with their orders. We've seen a little bit of that in the immigration context down in Washington. This is an example. What you're referring to, Kim, is the kind of passive-aggressive non-compliance that we've seen in other cases. We've gone back to court a few times in similar instances, and eventually the federal government's complied. I don't know if they think we're not that smart or we're not paying attention, but we're both. We're paying attention, and the team is very smart, and when they don't do what they're supposed to do, we're going to hold them to account.
Any impending litigation for the Trump administration? We know you've filed dozens of suits already. Anything else in the pipeline? Yeah,
there's something that I expect will be filed this week involving solar energy out probably not in Rhode Island, but elsewhere. Look, as we're not looking for cases to file. I wish we didn't have to file any of them. The cases we filed to date have saved Rhode Islanders already $651 million that the Trump administration would have taken from them. I hope we don't have to file cases, but where we have to file them, we're certainly going to keep doing that.
We're running out of time, but I want to ask you about your Consumer Protection Bureau. Last month, it resolved 27 complaints, got nearly $200,000 back in the pockets of people. Remind folks at home, what types of cases does that unit handle? And if they have an issue, how do they reach out?
Yeah, look, the best way to call us is just go to our website or call the main number. Whether you call our main number, which is 401-274-4400, or go on the website and reach us that way. We've done cases that involve $13.50 and overcharges from a grocery store that someone felt very strongly about, all the way to thousands of dollars. This year already, we've brought back for Rhode Islanders, just in small-ish consumer protection cases, $1.1 million. So really, hundreds of Rhode Islanders are benefiting from the great work of our consumer team. And I'd highly encourage Rhode Islanders to reach out to us when they just feel like they haven't been treated fairly. And look, cases that small, you can't afford a lawyer to chase a couple $100 or $13.50. But to that person, that $13.50 that they were overcharged for groceries meant a lot, and I'm glad we got it back for them.
All right, Attorney General Peter Neronha, we are out of time, but thanks for being here.
Thanks, Kim.